Life doesn't stop when the workday ends. On True HR Beyond the Office, Shannon Clark Johnston tackles topics that affect our lives in and out of the workplace, with conversations on mental health, reinvention, self-empowerment, and more. We share actionable insights to inspire meaningful growth. Join us for candid insights and guidance to help you build resilience, create balance, and thrive with confidence in all areas of your life.
Today we're diving into the transformative power of organization, not just for your home, but for your mindset, productivity, and overall well-being. Clutter isn't just about misplaced items. It creates mental noise, stress, and decision fatigue that can impact every aspect of our lives. Our guest, Audrey Tesora, founder of Right Touch Organizing Services, knows this better than anyone. As a professional organizer and senior transition specialist, Audrey helps individuals reclaim their space and peace of mind, whether they're tackling years of accumulated clutter or making a major life transition. After a 25-year career working as a C-suite executive assistant in a global law firm, she left corporate America to pursue her passion, helping people simplify their surroundings, regain control, and experience the freedom that comes with an organized space. Welcome, Audrey.
Thank you. It's great to be here, Shannon.
So great to have you because This is my thing. I love organizing things.
So do I.
Probably not quite as much as you, but I do. I also love it for mental clarity. And I think for so many years in my life, I didn't realize that's why I was doing it, but it helps me feel a semblance of control, right? And I can't work at a dirty desk. For me, it's all about clearing out my mind.
Yes.
Right? As much as the space.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's very cleansing. And I think it helps people just kind of live in a different kind of way, especially under stress, which we can talk about.
Yes.
But why don't we start with what is it? What is being a professional organizer? What does it look like? How do you do your work?
So being a professional organizer is about a lot of things, right? It's just not about putting labels on things and buying nice bins and making everything look pretty, which is very nice. That's
like the end result.
Yes,
yeah.
That's the end result. But we are so much more because people are stuck. They're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
They're stressed out. They've had life experiences that they just can't move past. And then when people are ready to get unstuck and move past and are tired of just living this life, they call me because they don't know where to start.
So do they typically call you in a crisis kind of a mode, would you say, the majority of the time?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It's just that they've come to this realization that, it's time for me to make a change because it's not working for me anymore. And those are the people I love because they're motivated. There are people that call me that are not ready because you can tell they talk in circles.
Oh, tell me about that. What are some of the things you hear where you're like,
well, so, they'll I have lots of papers, but, I need to go through them before I get rid of them. They fight for their limitations.
You said that in our call, and I actually wrote it down because I thought it was such an amazing quote. Tell me about that, fighting for their limitations.
And that's not only in organizing, that's in your entire life, right? You're always giving yourself this excuse. It's not ready, I'm not perfect, I'm not good enough. I can't fix my closet because I can't reach high enough. I can't, when I get rid of things, I need to get more things. They're not ready. And I meet people where they are. And I have told people, you're not ready yet.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I will not waste anyone's time. I will not waste my time. I meet them where they are, and I ask a lot of questions. But before I ask those questions, I listen to what they're saying really closely because their words are telling me a lot, especially when they're talking in circles and we've had a conversation for 10 minutes and we're really not getting anywhere. Like even to get the appointment to come over and see them is a little difficult because they're not ready. They want to be ready, but they're not.
But they're not.
They're not. And then especially when I have people whose parents or someone close to them have passed away, and they think they're ready to part. And I've told people, you're not ready yet, but I'm here when you're ready.
Right.
Because I do
Emotionally, they're just
yes,
not there.
they're just not there yet. And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's just when it's years and years of this that it piles up, and then it becomes an issue for them, a mental health issue for them,
Yeah.
which does happen. And that's hard to get out of once you're in that space.
Yeah. And so do you often hear back from people that you say, I don't think you're ready yet? Or do you?
So that's I don't really hear back from them. Yes, and I've gone to help people who've had severe issues with accumulating things.
Yeah.
I get in the house, we clear it out. Maybe 2.5 days. It's like you could see the floor, you could see the surfaces, and then they freak out and they're back to like they don't want, because they feel safe with all that.
That's
those
the
things.
hoarding kind of
Yeah,
a situation.
but there's all different levels of that.
Yeah.
And there's clean hoarding and just
Clean hoarding.
Clean hoarding is where the house is not dirty. People come in and do clean it, but they just clean around all the stuff, and they just keep buying stuff.
So I've never heard of clean hoarding.
I don't know if it's my word, but
No, that's
are-
interesting. I could see what you mean, though,
Yeah.
because some people, or they have pockets of hoarding. Like the house looks
Yes.
okay, and then you go into like the garage or a spare room, and you're
Yes.
like, whoa,
Whoa.
what's going on in here? Or basements are big, I think,
Yes.
for
Oh
hoarding.
my goodness.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you've seen
Yeah.
a few of those.
Oh yes. I've seen a lot of different. Every house is different, completely different.
You work with, so I think some organizers might not want to work with hoarding, like let's say unclean hoarding or classic hoarding. Do you work with anyone?
So I've done hoarders, but not to the extent where there wasn't a path. Like, there wasn't things on both sides of me. That I won't do. That's
Yeah.
for another type of company to do, because that's safety issues.
It could be, yeah.
Mental health. I've worked with mental health professionals to help their clients
Really?
declutter. Yes.
Oh, interesting. So you're
Yes.
there. I think I've seen that approach on Hoarders, which was a show where there are a couple of people there. There's a person who's actually doing the work, which I guess would be you, and then there's someone else helping them let go.
Yes, that's
So
right.
you've done that.
Yes, I've done that.
Wow, how's that?
And they do slip back, though. They're not, and even the professional, the mental health professional will tell me they struggle with their client with that.
Right.
So it's yes. And these are very intelligent people, very nice, personable.
Yeah.
And when you're there, they're into it. They are into it. And then when you leave, something,
So you said you think it's the attachment to their things makes them feel safe. I know you're not a mental health professional, but that's been your experience, that this makes them feel safe.
So I think it's a couple of things. It makes them feel good for the moment that they've got this thing, and then when they get it, the thrill is gone in 5 seconds. And then we're on to the next thing. And then it's always the kind of aspirational kind of hoarding. I think we all got to well, I think I'm going to be a jeweler one day, and I've got all these jewelry things, and I've never touched them in 10 years. So some of it's aspirational also, and it just piles up, and you have to let go of that. Like the Martha Stewart, remember her? We all wanted to aspire to be Martha, and so I'd buy all these things and never touch them.
I never do that
because I don't have the time. It's not my life.
Right. Well, and I guess that's what's so challenging about it, in a sense, when you talk to somebody, because it's on such a spectrum, right?
Yes.
I mean, like I'll buy the same shirt in 3 colors, okay, and maybe I don't wear it, but then all the way at the other end of the spectrum is the hoarding. So what are some of the things you ask people to kind of figure out where they are?
Yeah. So I sit down with them, have a conversation. I said, what is your biggest pain point? What's giving you the most anxiety? Because sometimes they say, well, they want the whole home decluttered and organized. Or sometimes they'll just say their closets or their kitchens or whatever. So, and I ask them, so where would you like to start? And if they, can't figure that out, I tell them, well, if you want the whole home organized, I start from the front door and work my way in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And if that's not what you want, then we can start with your closet. Now, and I have to tell you that once the process gets started, they realize, like, why am I holding on to this? Especially
Most
with
people
the
do.
clothes.
Yeah.
Yes, most people with the clothing, especially. It's like, and do you need 12 pairs of black pants?
Right.
Well, we don't know. But, but yeah, and they really get into it. And I had a client tell me recently that they were so happy I was there because when I'm there, they love throwing away things.
Well, and,
Getting rid of things.
I could see that. It's like you're going to come in and help them because they find it hard to let go, I think, on their own.
That's right. And then when I'm there, first of all, they're paying me for my time. So, and to be productive, we have to get something done, right?
Right.
And so then all of a sudden it clicks in their head, why am I keeping this?
Yeah.
And then, we'll have a first go round and then maybe we'll have a second because my clients I'm talking a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, more than the average person. I don't have, I think I have a lot, but they have maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 times as much
Really?
items of everything. And that has to go with our culture, our society of consumerism. It's, if I have this, I'm worthy. It's comparing yourself to social media. It is so many different things.
It's deep.
And especially with younger people, they have to have every perfume, cologne, makeup, and so it's sort of like a reprogramming of them in a way, but that's a hard habit to break.
It is.
Until they run out of money.
Well, it is. I think the other side of it, which I'm sure you see as well, is even if I know that I have a lot of floral blouses, which I've been down this road before, I feel guilty throwing it out or giving it away. I would give it away. But having someone else come over and kind of validate that you have too many floral blouses is helpful, right? To say,
that's right.
And I hired a fantastic stylist who's actually been a guest on the show, and I did a closet organizing with her. That was like step one.
Yes.
And then you shop for whatever. And I was really embarrassed by the number of things I wanted to get rid of because I was like, what was I doing? I mean, I took a picture of it. It was a pretty big pile, and I was shocked at myself. So do you see that too, where people are like, maybe not in a severe state, and you go over, and it's like, kind of like mind-blowing for them?
Yes, it is. Yeah. They come to a lot of realization. And we ask them, when was the last time you wore this?
Yeah.
And they go, well, I may lose weight and I want to wear this again. And I'm
God, yeah.
I'm like, but even if you lost the weight, are you the same person you were when you fit into that? No, I don't think you
probably want to go get something new if you
and I
lost
told
some
her,
weight.
Yes. Yeah, and I told her that, told them that, various people. It's that's on a spectrum. But yeah, closet organizing is, there's a lot that fits into a closet.
There really is, and that's. I was literally just shocked at the sheer magnitude I had fit into the closet. I didn't even know I liked florals that much. Yes. And also buying the same thing unknowingly because you can't really tell what's in there. So you said like multiple black pants. I've done that.
Right.
Where I'm like, oh, I already kind of have something very, very similar to this. Right. Yeah.
Unless it's your uniform.
Right.
Because I have a uniform that I do have black pants. The same 4 pairs, but they just, it's get up and go. So that's fine. That's a capsule wardrobe minimalist. But people say, oh, I haven't seen that. I was looking for that. Right. They're like, it's like a treasure hunt sometimes for them.
Well, it's also interesting. You alluded to this too. There's this emotional connection. And what I felt in going through that process just on that scale was a release of almost some negative energy on things that I wore. Like I had associations with some of these things that weren't great. And it was like bad juju. It was like, why am I keeping it? I'm really not wearing it. When I wear it, I don't feel good about it. I remember when X happened or who I was, or whatever it is. So that connection to things is so deep. Clothes is one thing, but other items too. I'm sure you see that.
Yes, I see that a lot, especially with sentimental items of family members that have passed away.
Oh, yeah.
And I tell them there are several things you can do, right? You don't have to keep every china cup, right? You can keep
a symbolic one or something.
Keep a symbolic one. You can take a picture of all of these items and make a nice scrapbook.
Right.
And that doesn't have to cost a lot of money or take a lot of time. You can donate the rest. You can gift them to family members. You can go on YouTube and make things, repurpose them. for gifts
Right.
or for ornaments, right? So a lot of my clients, they don't want to get rid of their baby stuff, but their children, who are now grown, do not want them. So, you can perhaps, I went on YouTube and discovered you can make baby ornaments out of like shoes, like knitted things that you knit. You can make an ornament out of it.
Yeah.
So that, so if you must keep something, and I get that, that you can repurpose them.
That's a really good tip.
Upcycle them, repurpose them, gift them, donate them, consign them.
I like also the symbolic aspect of what you're saying. I remember when my grandmother passed and we went to her home and she really was into teacups. You kind of mentioned that.
I love teacups.
Yeah, it was pretty, but I didn't need all the teacups.
That's right.
And I picked one or two and kind of had them in, displayed, and they do. I always think of her. And actually, one I wasn't a teacup, it was a little bowl that I have our remote control. But I do think of her. I really, and I have other items. If I actually have her, I redid her ring, and so I think those are really important and sort of satisfies. It feels like that emotional connection.
It does, and you can make a shadow box of memories, right? The teacup thing I love because you can make favors out of those too.
Oh,
so that's
I like
you could
that.
put plants.
Yes,
you can do lots of things. So yeah, be creative, but don't keep everything. If it's starts to affect your everyday happiness.
Well, yeah, and half the time you get the stuff right, whether it's like in that situation for my grandmother, or you buy something and you sort of put it in a place that you don't even really see it anyway. Like
That's
you pack
right.
it away because you have so much of it and you don't know where to put it.
And I've had people do that and they want to keep it, and okay, so then that's what we do.
Right.
We pack it up, put it in the attic, and it's there for another day. I've moved clients who's have had boxes in garages for 20 years unopened.
They don't even know what's in there.
No,
Yeah.
and it's come from their other house 20 years ago, and they
just keep moving it.
They just keep moving it.
I get that.
Yeah, so the rubber hits the road eventually. If they don't deal with it, their children do.
Yeah.
And then and then it becomes sort of like a time issue that we have to get rid of this now.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, very, very true. I mean, I'm sort of getting a picture now of what kind of person you have to be in this business. Probably very patient.
Yes,
but tell me a
very
little bit
patient.
about what some qualities are you think for you personally and also just generally.
So I think when I'm dealing with one person, two, or a family, you got to read the room because there's a lot of dynamics going on. Okay, so and every sibling is different. When I'm dealing with some downsizing of people who have passed away, so you've got to see each of their personalities because they are different. I have to listen. I have to ask questions. I have to ask them, well, where would you like to start, right? What do you how do you envision this happening? What is your timeline for this? So, yeah, and how fast do you want to get started and, things of that nature. But it is listening, it is asking a lot of questions, and it's sort of guiding them along through the process.
Well, it could be frustrating, I would think, for you because you love organizing, right? You do it for a living. And then you have, I would imagine, a decent amount of resistance sometimes to it,
Yes,
right?
yes, some resistance, yes. And so it's sort of like soft, tough love.
Yeah.
Right? You have to be very careful how I choose my words. I'm not brutally honest. I mean, I am honest, but you say it in a way that's compassionate and caring, right? And they come around eventually. They come around. And then, you know what? Let's put it aside. We'll come back to it another day. Maybe you're just not ready today.
Right. That's not ready.
So I have repeat clients who I do maintenance with because everybody's life is not, perfect, right? Every 6 months, a year, whatever
Need
it
a
is.
refresh.
Yes. And then they'll, what they kept last year, now they want to get rid of this year. Right? So things change, right? So what I had recommended last year now is okay this year.
Right.
Right? So, yeah, it's...
you have to be flexible.
They have to be, and I'm flexible, I'm adaptable. That's part of the qualities you need to be. You need to have, although you do need to set some boundaries with people and my time and their time. But basically, I'm very lucky because I can be flexible in my schedule, and I try to, accommodate everyone that I can. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about, and it sounds like you've had them. I want to hear about more of an extreme case that you dealt with, and then maybe your best success story.
Yeah. So the extreme case would be, I guess, the hoarders. Or not even that, just people who have had a lot of things, and then we do get rid of everything, and they're they're amazed. They're
Yeah.
like, why didn't I do this a long time ago? What was I thinking?
So there are some that you come in and
Yes.
it's like hoarder
Yes.
level, and they do stick with it
Yes.
to your knowledge.
Yes, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the success story is someone who, just wants to not have a lot of material things anymore. They come to this realization that material things are not my happiness. That's not dependent upon why am I happy? Because I have these things. And it's so
Yeah.
freeing. It makes you lighter. You can concentrate. You walk into and they've done studies. When you walk into a room and there's a lot of visual things around, it's not good for you, and it's harder to focus
Yeah.
when there's a lot of clutter around you, especially if it's not doing, if it's paper or it's garbage
Right.
or
It's not even
trash.
decorative. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
stuff.
not decorative. It's just stuff all around you piled up. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that because I have a lot of Christmas decorations and put a lot of decorations out, and every year now I've gotten to do it on a New Year's Day that I take everything down. There is a cleansing. I mean, there's a little bit of like, oh, okay, sort of sad that the holidays are over,
Yes.
but the energy is different. It feels so clean and like
Yes.
so, I don't know, just a better energy.
Absolutely.
More clear.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I think as I've gotten older, I have sort of naturally, and I don't know if you see this, like pared down. Like I used to have a lot of tchotchkes and
Yes.
trinkets, and
Yes.
now I'm almost like not like modern, sleek modern per se, but just like a lot less. I've noticed.
Yes.
Right?
I do too. Yes.
Is that
And
a natural thing you
that
see?
I think it's definitely a natural progression as you get older.
Yeah.
You want things to be simple.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to concentrate on other things, other experiences, right? Because you've attained a certain level of maybe hopefully financial security,
Yep.
a certain level of professional acumen,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so you don't, you've been there, done that. You don't need to prove anything to anyone anymore. Right? So
Yeah.
I don't need the big car. I don't need the fur coat. I don't, I've done all that.
It doesn't change anything either.
Right, and that's right. You've learned a lot, right?
Right.
Right. So now you, like for myself, I love experiences. I love to travel, right? I like self-care, a lot of self-care, right? To
Yeah.
take care of myself, exercising, yoga, those types of things. So I'd rather spend my money on that
Right.
than buy something. And then when I go away now, like, you always want a little souvenir of where you've
Yeah.
been, so I'll buy a bookmark.
Yeah, I do a Christmas ornament.
Yeah, okay.
So then I
yes.
just always, I sometimes forget that I bought it though, I will say, but
okay.
I have a special drawer, but yeah.
And I do a coaster,
symbolic.
one coaster
Yeah.
from a place, or a pair of earrings, or just something little. I don't want to buy
T-shirts
magnets.
and all of that, yeah.
Yes, I don't even buy a T-shirt. I just buy
Yeah.
just really
I
tiny
agree.
things, and so
Something meaningful.
yeah. And when I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, I had such a great time there. Yeah.
Right. And so I guess folks that don't sort of naturally get there, there's something going on where there's this attachment to the things that they do think
Yeah.
it's helpful. There's, again, I'm not a psychologist either, but
Yeah.
it feels like something that's a little unresolved there.
There is, yes. People have a lot of, they've had trauma. Everybody has a story,
Yep.
which is very interesting. I hear lots of very personal stories of things that have happened to people.
Yeah.
And then you can see why this is happening, right? So you have empathy, to help them trying to get out of that hole
Yeah.
of where they're at.
Yeah. Well, and, I think I mentioned this when we first talked about you coming on, but I know for me when I was going through a really difficult time and I was sick and in recovery, and this is part of some of what I talk about, which is when you're dealing with adversity, really paring down, being organized, having an organized space, having an organized environment, it really helps with the stress you might be dealing with.
That's right.
From whatever you're going through. And
That's right.
I always tell people I like to make a list. I actually just made a new one of like sort of irritations and things in the house that are bothering me. I just had a handyman over yesterday to kind of address a bunch of them that I couldn't do myself. But it's everything. It's like, you have like a junk drawer, or I had this drawer in my bathroom that was just off the track and I couldn't get it on the track. It was just bothering me. These things matter.
They do matter.
It just like drains your mental
That's
energy.
right. That's right. And I'm a list person.
Yeah.
I make lists all the time.
lists.
I use a habit tracker to make sure I do these certain things every day that keep me healthy and set the tone for the day. And when I give presentations, I try to tell people that everything starts with a habit. Okay, and once you make it a habit, it becomes a routine, and then routines you don't have to think about.
Yeah.
Right. So in the morning, you have a certain and listen, you can write this habit. You can write that down. This is what I do first. And you don't have to follow it to the T. But if your mind is all over the place,
Right.
as mine sometimes is, right? Because we
Yeah.
have so much going on. You just write down. I need to do this, 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 this. And then, boom, you're out of the house. And once you keep doing that, you don't even need to look at that anymore. It becomes habitual,
Yeah.
it becomes automatic, right? And that's, and the same things with any kind of goal. So if you want to declutter your house, you start small,
Yeah.
right? Because if it's so overwhelming, but write down what you want to achieve and what you want the outcome to be, and then set a time limit, and then set a timer to start doing it, and put it in your planner.
Yeah. No, and you have to, I totally agree with you. I think it's like a punch list for your life
Yes.
it's good to kind of do every once in a while because you
Yes.
don't realize how much things are taking energy from you.
They do. And life is a lot of minutia, unfortunately, right? Especially when you need to get on a phone to call someone, and then
Yeah.
you're on hold, and then then a half hour of your life has, slipped away. But, you need to mentally prepare yourself, I do, for these types of things.
Right.
Because they are draining.
They are. And I think the act, and I know we're not talking necessarily about lists today, but the act of dumping it out of your brain onto a piece of paper is so important to just get it out. I know, like, I have a habit of every night I'll write down what's going to happen. This has been years. I have a paper planner because I like paper.
I like paper.
Yeah. And, you put it in the night before. What's the day going to be? As much, maybe it's not going to go exactly how you want, but you get all the things out there.
That's right.
And then you can sleep a little more soundly.
Absolutely. I always keep a pen and pad by my bed
Yeah.
in case something pops in. I write it down
get
so
it
I
out.
don't have to remember it.
Yeah.
The next day, and I get to do it.
Yeah.
And then they always say, you're not going to get everything done on your list, but pick 3 things that must get done, right? So it's important, it's urgent, important.
Yes. Yes.
And everything else can be done another day.
Right.
So, and that's so what is the one thing I need to do today? What is the second thing I must do? So that helps me a lot also.
Yeah, I think there's something with people who like to really get into organization, and that is like this feeling of accomplishment is a driver.
I have a black marker. I just put those lines
Right?
through my list.
You sound like my dad. My dad, I think he still does. He's going to kill me for saying this. Like, he would use a ruler to cross things out. On his had to be a ruler. I'm like, oh, that's where I get it from. Thank you. I like a check mark myself, but
I do an X.
whatever works. You do an X. Well, this is great. I would love it if you've given a couple already, but if you could give a couple of tips to the audience on organizing. What are some quick things people can do? We've talked a little about lists and so forth, but actually, what's like one thing they could do today or tomorrow to make their lives better?
What I always say to do, every day, at the end of the day, do like a 5-minute tidy up, right? So you walk around the home and you pick up any papers, you take out the trash, you clean the sink, you get your clothes ready, or at least have an idea of what you're going to do for the next day. You get the lunch ready if you have children, and you keep doing this every day. It's another habit, but and I always make the bed in the morning, so I come home to a nice bed, and I look forward to going into that made bed. But it's just a matter of setting habits. And they're easy, right? But if you take something out, put it back.
Right.
That's
and find a place for everything.
Oh, and
right?
a place for everything. Yes, and one in, one out. A place for everything. And take something out, put it back. Yes.
I started putting out the makings of my coffee. Well, I do a number of things, kind of what you're talking about, straighten up the couch and all that. So when you walk down in the morning, clean out the sink, and putting, and I remember getting made fun of for like setting up my coffee. But to me, first of all, I'm half asleep. So it just, I don't know, there's something about coming downstairs or walking into your space, right? And it's all kind of
Yep, and I look forward
tidy.
to my French press cup of coffee every morning.
Yeah, and I bet it's all set up and ready to go.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I love it. Yep.
I love that. So can you tell us where we can find out more about you and your services?
Sure. You can reach me at our www.righttouchorganizing.com and Audrey at righttouchorganizing.com.
Right touch organizing.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure you have the right touch, and it's been a pleasure chatting. This is one of my favorite subjects. So.
Oh, I love it. Too.
I love
Yes,
it,
I love
and hopefully we helped a few people. You helped a few people today.
I hope so.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Take care.
My
We are out,
pleasure.
everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to True HR Beyond the Office. We hope today's episode inspired new ways for you to find fulfillment and purpose in your personal and professional life. If you found value in our conversation, let's keep it going. Follow us on social media and visit us at ShannonClarkJohnston.com to explore free tools, resources, and more about our speaking, coaching, and consulting services.